guys, we're starting on the masking for the interior, and then we already had it in the flat white, and the parts that you see that are so white will be blue, the teal, turquoise, whatever color you want to call it, there, and the parts that are green will be white. And you probably will have to go. We'll probably hand paint the carpeting in, and well, we might leave it blue, just for giggles. And we're going to use that Krylon Decor Selects Matte Surf. That's the color we're going to use for it. And basically, we're waiting for the temperatures to go. I've got it masked. As soon as the temperatures are warming up a little bit, it's like -2 today, so it's too cold. It's too cold to go outside and paint. The paint kind of freezes before it gets on the body or on the seats or whatever. As soon as it warms up a little bit, then we will be able to shoot that on there. Same thing. We've got our steering wheel here. We're just going to leave it white, because we said we're doing a two-tone. We're going to leave it white, and then we might spray a little bit of this into a cup and brush paint just the steering wheel hub or something like that. Maybe not. We'll see. But yeah, that's where we're at on this step. And when we come back, I'll have the paint on there and hopefully dried, and we can start using our Sharpie marker to put a few details in there. So we'll be right back. Okay, guys, it's another day, and it's a lot warmer, so we're probably going to get to do painting today. So, everybody, and we're going to, if you want to do a two-tone, we're going to mask it off. If you don't want to do a two-tone, then you don't need to do it. You can skip this step, but we're going to two-tone this one. So I'm using, this is frog tape. This is delicate, but you could use whatever one you want. Regular frog tape. You can use masking tape. You can use the blue 3M painter's tape. There's more expensive washi tapes out there from like Tamiya and other sources, but I just like, a roll of this is probably around $7 or $8, and it lasts. This particular roll has probably lasted me a couple years. I just finally had to go buy a new green roll. This is the regular stuff. This one is not as sticky, which I like for cars being not as sticky. The last one lasted me at least 6 years on the last one. Okay, so trick you're going to do if you're masking over paint that you might worry about lifting, is take it and do it backwards here. You stick it on your jean pant, your pants leg or something. Take it off, stick it on, take it off. That takes the tack down, leaving a little bit more. So what we're going to do, I'm not going to do this whole thing on camera, but we're going to line this up where we want the color separation to be, which on this body would be where the chrome trim is, because we're going to paint that silver with a marker later on. So that one, we're going to burnish that in real nice. Let me before we do that, let me go ahead and change out my blade. That's why I recommend scalpels, because they are a lot cheaper and also sharper. And pro tip 101, keep something around where you can put your used blades in. You just don't want to just throw them in the trash or leave them lay around, because you know bad things can happen. And what will happen when this gets completely full, then I'll throw the whole container away, because those are toothpick containers. So you just like, go buy another 2 of those, and by the time I fill up another one of those, I've gone through 3 or 4 of the others. Okay, so Which ones do we have here? It's the number 11s. I got a couple different shapes for what we're using here. And what I do to peel this down both sides, kind of feels like a bandage package. But I leave the blade in, and on this, it's angled, and there's a little tab that sticks up. I slide that in, and it'll click on. That way you keep the sharp point away from your hand while you're putting it on. One thing I'll say, if I had to get cut by a knife, I'd rather get cut by a sharp one than a dull one, because a sharp knife, the cut will pretty much heal up almost instantly by itself, whereas a dull one tears, and you're going to have a bad day. Not that I recommend you getting cut at all, but so I'm going to take and I'm going to cut that down. Grab my tweezers here. I'm going to peel that piece up. See if I need to clean it anymore. Is it any closer? Yes, I probably do. I kind of want to cut it kind of right down the middle of that piece of trim, so that when we paint the trim, that'll cover up any wavy lines or parts that are not. You're going to end up with a cleaner paint line, because you're going to be painting over where the two colors come together. There we go. That's better. Okay, I don't know how well that will show up. So we cut it right along where that trim is, and you can see the yellow where the tape is on top of the trim piece that runs down the back of the body. So that's, and then we'll burnish that down real well. You can use your finger, you can use a Q-tip, anything it'll take to get it, because you want that edges to go tight. When it comes to a sharp corner like this, if the tape's got to go around the corner, I'd much rather cut it and do little sections rather than just try to fold this over. It's never going to make a good seal. Or you cut it and we're like halfway around the corner, so it goes like halfway around the corner, and you start a new piece, and you'll be able to get it tight on it. But this is from, like, say, on this particular car, from about right here. I can just tear this off and I can show you. From the end of the chrome piece straight down the body is gonna still be white. So we can go ahead and cover all that up, so it's not gonna. I'll take and burnish those edges in. That's the key, is you want to have those edges down tight. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna mask off the whole roof area and the same section on both sides and all the way down the trunk. So when we get that done, and then we'll come back and get that done. I'll get the paint on it. Once the paint dries, we'll get the tape peeled off, and we'll show you what we've got going on. All right, so we'll be right back, and for me, we're talking about probably 12 hours or so. So hang on. Okay, guys, we're back next day, actually. And I'll show you what we've got accomplished. Because it actually was warm enough early this morning to allow me to do some painting. So we got stuff painted. We'll start with the interior. You can see where we masked off the seat. It's not perfect, but that's okay. It's going to be inside. Masked off the sides of the interior. We used our silver pen to do some detail in there on both sides. And here's our front seat. Same deal. Masked it off, but the back is all the blue. And that will go in. Goes in there. And since we're doing this as a beginner's build on the budget type thing, normally I would either put the felt down in here or paint it, or at least paint it, but I think I like the blue color for this one, so we're just going to leave the blue and not worry about the carpeting or whatnot. Right there. Also, we got the I'll give you some still pictures of this because it won't show very well. We got the dashboard done. We masked off and painted the bottom section of it the same blue. That silver part we did with our silver paint, or you can do it with the silver Sharpie, where our gauges and stuff are, clock gauges, all that. Then we made a wash, which is like one, dip your brush into the black paint and then put it on your little cap here and see where I did it at. Then you add about 10 parts of water, so it just barely has color in it. And then you just blow it in, and it'll sink into all the low sections. You kind of leave the shadows, and it finds the nooks and crannies and gives you your texture and your depth there. You got that. We used our silver marker to do the horn ring and the center cap on the steering wheel, as well as the stick shift on it. So that's ready to go. So the interior is basically, I got it ready to put together. There. And I did take the tape off of it. Got it painted and took the tape off of the body. So here's our body. See, now you can kind of see better where it masked at on it. And it's not completely cured yet, the paint isn't, but it's enough that I can handle it. But I'm gonna let it sit for a day or two before we do much with it. And then we will go in and hand paint our engine compartment black, and then we got a radiator here. We need to paint black and core, and it's got it just has the horn. Yeah, this has the horns on it. So we'll get the gold Sharpie out and do the horns. So we're coming along real well on this one. And once we get everything, the detail painted, then we'll shoot a clear coat on it. Just because I use flat paint for all of this. So we'll shoot a clear on it. You could use Duplicolor, has a 1K clear, or you can get, I believe Rust-Oleum has a clear lacquer that you can get. Our Testers has a clear lacquer. We'll probably use the Testers lacquer because I've got some here at the house. I'm still going on outside. But we'll do that when we get to it. That's down the road a bit. So this is where we're at so far. I hope you're enjoying this series. So if you have any questions or looking for any tips or ideas, or hey, can I do this, or how does that work? Don't be afraid to leave a question in the comments, or my email is usually in the description. Or if not, it's on my about page, and shoot me an email with the question. There are no dumb questions, guys. The only stupid question is the one you don't ask. And believe me, I've screwed up enough stuff. I've got boxes of stuff that have been screwed up. But it's nice when you do screw something up if you know how to fix it. So anyway, before I waffle too much, so if you want to get one of my shop cards, again, use that email address, send me your info, and I will send you a shop card out no matter where you are in the world. And so until we get a couple of days when this cures out and we can start doing some more painting on it, we'll say goodbye and we'll see you next time.